All right, guys. So, next lesson, we are going to talk about what is chlorine and why is it useful in a pressure washing business. So, you might think most of the cleaning happens with water pressure. Not the case. Actually, the truth is, if you're cleaning professionally, you're using chlorine, also known as bleach. So, what actually is chlorine? Well, chlorine is actually a naturally occurring chemical element. It has to be produced in a factory to get it in bulk, but it occurs in nature as a yellowish gas and it cleans. It has the property of getting rid of basically organics. This is what the pump is going to look like. This is your what you might call the equivalent of a pressure washer, but for soft wash, for the chlorine. And the chlorine is actually going to damage the pump. It's going to damage the metal. So metal has trace small elements of organics from ages past. So the chlorine will rust these things. It doesn't rust plastic so much. It will go through here. At the end of the day, you want to rinse this out. This has to be all water. But while you're using it, this is pumping the chlorine for you. And very valuable chlorine can disinfect and clean surfaces. It can also act to bleach color, like remove color from a surface, particularly like reds or blacks or violets. You just have to test a surface area just a little bit and see, what it's going to do to just kind of get experience. If you're using something on black or a fabric, you have to be careful to rinse it before. Use very mild chlorine, clean it, rinse it right after. But with a black, you're rolling the dice. You just want to use water pressure on that. Everything else, except maybe red, you're rolling the dice a little bit. All other colors, you can use chlorine if you use it responsibly. Use it on the right amount. You're not going to use a strong solution for chlorine on anything but a white tile roof or really a tile roof or shingle roof. You're going to use like 20% roughly. And that chlorine you get from a pool distributor. So let me show you how to get that. You're going to go to Google and you're going to type in pool distributor company near me. There's all different kinds. I'll just go through a few here. So there's SCP distributors. They're national. Pool Corp. Leslie Pool Supply. You can use them. They're usually the highest priced, but they're the only ones open on the weekends usually. And what you do is, because you're following this course, you have your business card from Vistaprint. So you bring your business card and you ask to be put on as a contractor so that you get a contractor discount. You do not want to pay full price for chlorine at Leslie Pool Supply. You just want to get it at about, with inflation, it's probably about $1.30, 40, 50. It's different depending on where you go, but you want to get it at a good rate so that you're very profitable as a pressure washer. And these places will have giant vats. You can fill your tank with chlorine, and again, that tank, make sure that is diluted with water. You don't want pure chlorine from the distributor ever. Probably the highest you'd ever go is maybe half water, half chlorine. And you do have to be safe with it. You have to wear protective equipment, goggles, gloves. Try not to breathe it in too much. If you're doing a roof, you wear that gas mask for that reason. If your skin does happen to get exposed, you have access to water, you just rinse it off. Chlorine, it's the same stuff that's in your pool. That's what's keeping your pool clean, actually, is the chlorine. And obviously, you keep pets and children away from the stuff, too. That's why you let people know to move these out of the way. It's not the water pressure that you're worried about. It's the chlorine. So those are all the things you need to be careful about on chlorine. But why is it good? Why is it useful? Well, I'm just going to show you. Chlorine is very powerful in cleaning. So take a look at this. This is actually almost all bleach. Um, this is an organic. This is algae. You spray we call it the juice. So we juice it, and then we rinse it, and then it looks as if it was painted practically. It's that powerful. But you have to, like I said, you have to be responsible with it. This is another type of algae that grows in Florida. It's an organic. You rinse it, and you spray on the chlorine. You rinse it. It looks just like it was brand new. And that's where you get your professional cleans. No pressure at all. Same with walls. You're not painting. You're just using chlorine. Very, very powerful stuff. Um, you're going to be using it, and it's going to make your job so much faster, so much easier. You're going to want to do the next job. And when you see a house that looks brand new from chlorine and you've rinsed it and it's all done and the customer sees what you just did and how much better everything looks, that's when you get your Google review and that's when your business starts growing. And man, is it fun if you know how to use it. So don't think of chlorine as a terrible thing, you know. People are always like worried about it. You just use it responsibly and your business will grow. Your customers will love you and you're going to have way more fun. All right? Good. Let's go on to the next lesson.